And we are live. Welcome, mystery and thriller fans. I'm your on-air host, Sara DiVello, and I am so excited to welcome today Wall Street Journal best-selling author Abby Collette here to tell us about her brand new book in her Ice Cream Parlor series starring Bronwyn Cruz, A Killer Sundae.
Yay.
Abby, welcome to Mystery and Thriller Mavens. Tell us about this book.
Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here. So much energy here. I just love it. So my new book is the third in the series, A Killer Sundae. I just love the cover. It's got a fork. Oops, now I knocked everything down. A little fork there with stabbing the maraschino cherry. I just love it when they sent this to me. I go, oh, that's the one. They go, wait. We have others. So I was like, I don't need to see anything else. So it's the third installment in my Ice Cream Parlor mystery series out from Berkeley. And it still has been the protagonist is, her nickname is Bronwyn Cruz, and she is still reluctant. Publishers Weekly put out a review saying that they love the tenderhearted Wynn. She does not want to go, like most amateur sleuths in these cozies. She's not running toward the danger. She's trying to stay away from it. But in this one, she has a food truck. Do not call it an ice cream truck because it's not. No turkey of the straw here. And it's maiden voyage, and she's at the Harvest Time Festival in Chagrin Falls, where her ice cream shop is. And of course, there's a murder. And so she sets off after a while to try and solve the murder.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to hear all about it. And I see we are having a little technical difficulties where you can't see me and nobody else can see me. So I am a mystery woman right now. So I am wondering what the heck is going on.
Well, this is all about mystery, so that's good.
I'm just trying to stay on brand, Abby. Just stay on brand. I've never had this happen before. How bizarre. But anyway, okay, so Abby, I'm so excited to host you today and hear all about this book. And we have people jumping in and saying hello. So great to join us. So we are broadcasting 6 different places. On Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're watching from, you're in the right place. This is the right time. And we are going to get right on into it. So Abby, you, the Ice Cream Parlor series starring Bronwyn is a cozy mystery.
Yes.
Now, what made you want to write cozies?
Well, let me first say what a cozy is, because there's something coming in there. Every place I go, there's always someone who says, I don't know what a cozy mystery is. So a cozy mystery is a subgenre of mystery. There's still a murder there, but it's a more enjoyable read, funny read. If you can say that with murder in the same sentence, I'm not sure. It kind of started with Agatha Christie. So think about Jessica Fletcher and Murder, She Wrote. Yes, there's a formula there. It's usually set in a quaint, there you are. Quaint, small village or a town. That's because you need gossip, to solve the murders. So everyone needs to know everyone and everyone needs to talk. Murder happens off stage, off the page usually. So there's no violence, no sex per se. There's usually maybe a little sweet romance. And there's amateur sleuths, of course. So I started writing cozy mysteries because I just couldn't put all that violence and swearing. I don't swear in real life. I just couldn't get it in my book. Every now and then I'll throw in a little, bad word, but no big like F-bombs, or I can't do those. And I'm not good at romance. If I just type and then they kiss, it's like I have to cover my eyes. So I need something easy, but I love murder mysteries and I love solving puzzles. So cozy mysteries were just like the best thing for me. Although I'm getting kind of grown up in my old age and I want to try a little edgier murder mystery that isn't so cozy. So we'll see how that goes.
Ooh, wait, so Abby, does that mean you will be swearing and writing scandalous sex scenes? I mean, what does this mean, Abby?
I think there'll be blank pages where they're supposed to go, but I'm not writing them, no. But I will take maybe the fun and the humor out. I think my books are kind of humorous, especially the first cozies that I wrote, like the Logan Dickerson mystery series and the Romaine Wilder. They were really funnier. I think I didn't have an editor back then, so I love my editor. I have the best editor ever. She would not edit out anything funny. I just think I'm more like tense about it because it's like someone has to look at this. It's more like you're on your best behavior. So that's, I don't put that much humor in. So.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness, Tracy Clark has entered the chat.
Hi,
Tracy. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining us. I hosted Tracy last year when Runner came out, and she and Faye Snowden are coming back next Monday. I can't wait to chat with Tracy and Faye.
Yeah, you'll love that. Tracy was just nominated for an award for her story at Midnight Hour. I love her story at Midnight Hour. When I read it, I go, don't tell anybody else this. I said, this one's going first. It's a really good story. So yeah.
Yay! Oh my God, Tracy Clark is amazing in everything. Yes, Tracy, what an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Someone is saying that they love both Agatha and Murder, She Wrote. Oh my gosh, I grew up on Murder, She Wrote. I love Jessica Fletcher and that cute little town in Maine. Absolutely, yes. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Someone else is saying that they like cozy mysteries. Me too. They're so charming. Someone else is saying sounds good. Yes, too.
So they're a light read. Take to the beach. You just need something, after something dark or something heavy, or you just want a little chuckle. They're usually quick reads, So, although sometimes I get carried away and I make them a little longer than I'm supposed to, but it's something that you just read. Reading is something for enjoyment, but if you want to get a chuckle and have a light read, cozies are the thing to do.
I also read that one of the differentiating factors of cozies is that the reader knows from the beginning who the killer is. Is that true, Abby?
Oh.
No. Okay, this rumor is going around that you got to tell it. So that's not true. Interesting.
That's not true. The whole idea of cozy mystery is to follow the clues and to figure it out. If you're thinking Agatha, you never knew who did it, not until the end. So no, you don't want to do it. That is more like a thriller, I guess. A thriller's definition of a thriller book is something is going to happen. You might know who's planning on doing it and you have to stop them. But in a mystery, someone dies and the whole book is figuring out who done it.
Who done it? Well, I am here for it. Tracy Clark saying, "Oh shucks," and all the glowing praise we're just heaping on Queen Tracy there. Tracy, Leslie saying, "It's me, Leslie. I'm not sure why my name is not there again." So Facebook has updated its privacy policy. So if you're watching from a private Facebook group, you have to give permission. Maybe you're logging on from a new computer or a new signal. There, Leslie. I'm sorry that Facebook is being such a pain.
Hi, Leslie. That's my mom. That was my mom's name. Glad to have you here.
Yay! So glad to have you here. Leslie's joining us from Canada, so we're going international.
Oh wow! Okay.
So Abby, here's Leslie. She said, "I did it already." Yes, a different device. Yay, Leslie, you're here. Great to have you. Abby, why ice cream parlors? Do you love ice cream? What's the story?
Sarah, who doesn't love ice cream? People might not can tolerate it, but everyone loves it. Well, it wasn't my idea. So I tried to submit another book, and an editor, which is not the publisher of this book, said, "I love Abby's voice. And if she wrote a story about ice cream, I'd buy it." And I thought, ice cream? How can I write it? I'm not writing a story about ice cream. I wrote this story. Why didn't you like this story? And it took me a few months to really come together with an idea. All my characters are, in all the books that I've written, are Black women who have advanced degrees. That's just what I do. I never even thought about it. It's just who I created. And I just kind of follow suit. And I thought, well, who's going to run this? How can I keep that characteristic with the ice cream store? And certainly people who run ice cream stores can have all kinds of degrees, advanced degrees. They can be, whatever they want to be. I just didn't know how to make it work with what I was doing. So I figured it out. It took me 3-4 months to figure it out. And I wrote the story and people liked it. Publishers liked it. So, and I ended up going with Penguin.
So, well, that's fabulous. Now, Abby, I got to know, what was the story's setting that they said, that the editor said, if Abby would just write about ice cream, I'd buy that story. What was the other setting?
The other story that I wrote that I've submitted and they didn't like,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Was it a university? Was it, I mean,
Oh,
was it something so different than ice cream?
no, I think it was about a woman who was pregnant with twins, and she had a little kid and a husband. And it was that, because I remember one guy editor said, "Can a pregnant woman be a sleuth? Women can be whatever they want to be."
Welcome to the 21st century, sir.
Yeah, so I guess there wasn't a hook there, and at the time I didn't know what a hook was, but I learned.
Yeah, exactly. You learned, and you learn, and now you're schooling us, because the praise has been amazing. So Publishers Weekly says, besides a picturesque setting and a cast of appealing secondary characters, Colette has created a truly original protagonist in Wynn, the proprietor of the town's first Black-owned business and the world's most reluctant investigator. Readers will want to see a lot more of the tender-hearted Wynn. Congratulations on that amazing praise, which you are earning. That is absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about let's get into it. So first of all, how do you create a cast of appealing secondary characters? What's the key of making an appealing character, do you think?
I steal other people's personalities that I know.
Okay, I like that.
Don't tell anybody that either. Maisie, for instance. Maisie is a friend of mine, Molly. And so I went to Molly because I have Jewish characters in the story, and I wanted to make sure I got it right and didn't, do anything that was stereotypical or atypical. And so when I got around Molly, I was like, I have to put her personality in the book. And so she became Maisie. And when the first book came out, A Daily Inside Scoop, people were like, oh, that Maisie is over the top. She is, too much. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just smiled. I thought I captured Molly, because Molly's like 74 years old, but she has the energy of a 20-year-old. She's always moving, always talking.
So did Molly agree? Was she like, yeah, you got me?
Oh my gosh, yes, she was over the moon. She's so happy. And now if I tell her I did an author event, she'll say, did you talk about Maisie? Did you tell him it's me? She's so happy about that. And then I always take part of my mother's personality in almost every book I write. My mother's been gone now over 20 years, but she stays alive in all my books. So I usually have an older woman in there, and I put some of my mother's personality in there. And then there's always a bit of me, especially since I'm writing in first person. When you say I, it's kind of like what I. So I don't think I've ever written a character that likes onions, because I don't like onions. So you've always put a little of yourself, I think, into your book. So I take bits and pieces of people and that I know, and then I build on that. So I think that's how I come up with my secondary characters, or primary characters as well.
Yes. So would you say that Bronwyn is you, or you are infusing yourself into other characters as well?
Yeah. So I think two characters in that book are me. One is Bronwyn and one is Albie. That's her mom. So I have this habit of I didn't realize I did. I have two habits. I sit in parking lots and driveways. I just sit there. Sometimes I read. Sometimes I just sing the songs that's on the radio. Sometimes it's like when I can't think of I guess I'm like cloudy or maybe a little stressed or depressed. I'll just pull over into a parking lot and just park. The other thing I always do is I just stop wherever I am. If it's like, oh, I meant to look up something, I'll stop the car. I always glance in the rearview mirror, but and so that's Albie. She stops when she's driving. She's always in parking lots. She talks a lot. Those parts are me. The analytical part of Wynn is me, figuring things out, getting stuff done. That's me. I can't hear you. You're
so sorry. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Elaine is saying that she thinks schooling someone implies punishment. Teaching, though, feels more appropriate, because I said Abby's schooling us. So thank you for letting us know, Elaine. I think that's
schooling. Tell her to check out the Urban Dictionary. Schooling means to tell you how it goes. So that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. I try to incorporate a little sprinkle of the cool kids. I try to level up as the cool kids say, and sprinkle a little a few cool phrases. I'm probably too old for that, but I try.
I know what we think is cool. There's a song that says what's hip today may be passe, tomorrow. So we're cool in our own little realm. I think everyone's cool. So, whatever you come up with, it's cool.
Thank you, Abby. Someone is saying that she wants to be like Maudie.
Oh, I don't know Maudie.
Let us know. That might be a
Molly.
mistype.
Maybe it's Molly.
Molly, I bet. Yeah, 74-year-old sassy
Yeah,
Jewish lady.
Jitterbug. She's still teaching. She teaches second graders, and she fits right in with the second graders, first and second graders. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. So I want to remind everyone that you can grab your copy of the book today. You can see this fabulous Molly. Oh, she's saying Maisie.
Maisie. Oh, yeah.
Maisie.
Killer
Yes.
Sundae. Yes.
Yay, Killer Sundae. So I'm popping the link in the comments.
Great.
So everybody grab your copy so you can get to know Maisie and Albie based on Abby's mother, Leslie, Bronwyn herself, all these amazing characters. So right here, here is the link. So your work has earned other amazing praise. The New York Times calls you delightful, which is hashtag goals for the New York Times to call you delightful. Amazing. They said Bronwyn is ever more confident about rooting herself in her community. Chagrin Falls turns out to be an entrancing place to spend time. What an incredible review from the New York Times. Abby, what was that like to read that?
Oh my gosh, I fell out my chair. I was so nice. I really like that, especially coming from the New York Times. I don't write to seek praise or a bunch of readership or money. All those things are nice if they come. So it's really nice when you hear those things. And I suffer from imposter syndrome. I never think that I'm doing it right. I don't go back and read my books. I tell everyone this. I don't do drafts because whatever I write, I feel like that's it. I can't do better. I know it's not good, but this is what I have. So it's really nice to hear that.
Yay, I love that. Patricia would like to know, did you always want to write? How did you get started? She joined 5 minutes in the conversation, so sorry if you missed it. Patricia, you didn't miss anything. Okay. Leslie would also like to know, how did you get into writing? So let's start there and answer these ladies' questions.
So I'm not one of those writers who knew in second grade that they wanted to write. In second grade, I wanted to be an actress. So it had nothing to do with writing. And then by 9th grade, biology, I had to dissect a fetal pig. Sorry if anyone's squeamish. And I decided I'm going to be a doctor. I don't know why I thought a doctor had anything to do with fetal pigs, but that's how I decided. And so I ended up being a lawyer and I got sick. And the doctors for 4 years didn't know what was wrong with me. And I was mostly bedridden and I didn't have anything to do. And I had written a book about 10 or 12 years earlier. I got fired from a job and I was taking care of my 80-year-old mother at the time and I had 2 teenage children at that time. And when I went home, I told my mother, I said, Mommy, I got fired. She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to write a book. Never knew. I couldn't tell you why I decided to write that one, but I wrote it. Maybe it was, just relieve the stress from, what I was feeling. I don't know. And then I just put it away. So I didn't see it for 10 or 12 years. And I got sick and I was in the bed and my daughter called and said, I found your book in my garage. And I thought, oh, library book. Did I forget to turn in a library book or something? And that was the book. And I thought this will take my mind off of what I'm going through. I had a hard time breathing. That's why I couldn't get up. But my mind was working fine. And it was always worried about what's wrong with me, So I got the book and I thought it was all bound nice. I had it nicely coil bound. And I thought I'll make an electronic copy of this. It'll keep me busy. And when I finished it, I thought, oh, I'm going to do something with this. So I published it. And I enjoyed that. And even I stayed sick a little longer after that. I couldn't have gone back to work. But once I was able to go back to work, I thought, why switch? I love this. It's sort of like being an entrepreneur. You write when you want to write, if you want to submit something. At that time, I was self-published, so I could write whenever I wanted to. and I enjoyed it. So that's how I got to be a writer. I guess I always was a writer. I said that to my ex-husband. I said, who knew I'd be writing? He said, I did. I always wanted you to write things for me. So, as a lawyer, I wrote briefs and pleadings and things, but nothing as entertaining. Maybe some of my pleadings were entertaining, but I don't think anything is entertaining as my cozy mystery.
Oh my gosh. Now I feel like we need to go read your pleadings.
The judge probably got a chuckle or two out of it. Yeah, when he ruled against it.
Well, well, I think that, hey, and entertaining a judge is that is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Anissa Joy Armstrong joining us from South Carolina says, hello, ladies. Hi, Anissa. So great to have you here. Welcome. Margaret Panard joining us from Portland, Oregon, saying ice cream. It's a family trait in my house.
Yeah. Who doesn't love ice cream? That's what I say.
Exactly. Mint chocolate chip is my favorite flavor.
Chocolate almond is mine.
Chocolate almond is yours? Ooh, that sounds good too. Patricia says, thank you so much for the answer. She'd like to know, have you listened to the audiobook versions and are you happy with them? Yeah, Abby, let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, so I didn't know, I hadn't listened, which I should have. The first two books, and I don't think the third book were actually narrated by someone. Her name is Chandra Sky. And I was just excited about that. I didn't listen to it. Her name is Chandra. That's my real name, Chandra. So I thought, oh, this is just awesome. I contacted her.
Oh my gosh.
And she was spelling it Chandra. And everyone doesn't say Chandra, even though that's the correct spelling. It's not my spelling. And so I talked to her about that and never listened to it. And I went to a book club meeting and they told me how they didn't like the book. And we started discussing it and they were like, oh, well, I like that part and I like that part. And I thought, well, what didn't you like? And they thought for a moment and they said, I think it was the reading. They said it sounded robotic. Yeah. And so I think the third book is narrated by someone else, but I'm not sure. And I know my new series, Body and Soul Food, is also out by Berkeley. I know there's a different narrator on that. Tell me, Patricia, what did you think?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, Patricia, what do you think? Because you know what's interesting is I don't listen to too many audiobooks because I'm a very visual reader. And so in my head, I hear what I think they sound like and I see what I think they look like.
Yeah.
So if I listen to the audiobook and they don't sound like that, and of course they don't, because what are the chances?
Right.
And if they ever gets made into a movie and they don't look like I imagine them, I'm so upset. So it's like I have to stay in my imagination.
Well, I can't listen to audio because my mind wanders. I'll be somewhere else thinking, and I'll have to rewind, and I'll have to always rewind, constantly rewind, because I'll start thinking about 9 other things. Now, then I'll think, oh, wait, I'm listening to this. So yeah, I can't.
Abby, did they give you input into the voice of the Soul Food series, the upcoming? Did they say, hey, do you like this voice?
No, they did not. They just said, we'll give you money and you let us do what we want. And I said, okay. So next time I'm going to not say, okay, but it's not Berkeley, who's the publisher. Now they were, just everything. Abby, do you think this is okay? How do you like this? Are you happy with this? They're very thoughtful. This is separate. They actually it went to auction. So they're the ones who won the auction for the audiobook. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, going to auction. That's #writer goals. Abby Colette, that's amazing.
So the series actually went to auction too. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so great. Thank you for letting us know what an incredible accomplishment. Margaret saying there is a special bittersweetness when your love language is to give. Your love language to give is in writing letters, but that's not another's language. Totally. She's saying, oh no, not the robots. I mean, that's a different type of book. Absolutely. Leslie's saying that she loves both audiobooks and paper books. Okay. Patricia's saying she read the first one, but she was going to try the second one on audio. She listens to audiobooks while she's walking. She agrees with Sarah with me. I'm like, oh, thanks. She agrees with me that sometimes the voice, even of just clearly a reader, can be off-putting. Exactly. The voice is so important.
Yeah.
It really matters. Oh, Anissa would like to know, what do you do? I love this question. Anissa, thank you. What do you do when you are stuck and the words are not flowing?
So I don't believe writers get stuck. Writers are creators. You always have a story in your head. You always have ideas in your head. They may not flow for whatever reason. And that imposter syndrome thing we have where we think we're not good enough and we think this isn't how I should say it, or this isn't how the story should go. So I don't think that we get like blocked. I do think we get stuck. I take that back. We get stuck. We don't get blocked. So when I get stuck, when I'm not quite sure where I want the story to go, sometimes I'll read other cozy mysteries. I've heard people say, I can't read books in my genre when I'm writing in that genre. Not me. I can read, and it's not a thing where, I copy. I just get inspired. Sometimes I only have to read a page and I go, oh, I know what I can do. I know what I should do. Driving helps me. Not the pulling over in parking lots part, the actual driving part, and walking helps too. I don't know. It just clears my mind and I come up with things. But also I believe, and if there's any writers out there, this is something you should do. You should have be in a writing community, because that really helps to have other people to discuss it with. So I have had a writing partner since I started. Her name is Catherine. We've never met. She lives in California. We even wrote a book together. It's called At the End of the Line. We self-published it. But I call her and she calls me, and we spend all day sometimes on the telephone talking about names, because names are so important. Me picking out a name, I have to like feel the name and make sure it's right for that character. We talk about character names. She has named all my books, I think, but one. And I've written over 30 books and short stories. And we talk about what should happen in a story, what characters should do. So that's really important to have someone, to bounce off ideas with.
Wait, so, oh my gosh. So wait, how did you meet if you've never met?
Well, I've never met in person. Did I add that part?
Yeah. How did you connect with
So
this
we met
person?
on Goodreads. When I first started, my first book was In the Beginning, which shows I didn't know what I was doing, because you have to compete with God with a title like that, right? Type that into Google and see if you come up with Abby Vanderveer. You won't. So that just shows I didn't know what to do, but I was trying to get people to read it. So at that time, you could do book swaps, and Amazon didn't get mad and kick you off. You could get on Goodreads and ask people to review your book, and you review their book. So I found Catherine. Her book was about an archaeologist as well. Mine was about a biblical archaeologist. And I asked her to read it, and I read hers. And we just stayed in touch. And then we started talking on the phone. We stayed in touch on Goodreads, and then through emails, and then we started talking on the phone. So
where did she live? Because you're in Ohio. Where does this Catherine
in San Diego? And now she's like we call each other sister. She.
Do you think you'll ever want to? At this point now, many years later, do you not want to meet? Are you like, we can't jinx it, or do you think someday you'll do a girls' trip, a sister trip, and go somewhere fabulous and go to a spa on the beach?
Yeah.
And be
if I can keep up with her, she travels already all around the world all the time. I can barely keep up with her. But we wrote a book like that, but we had to make it because it was so weird that we never met each other in today's world. So we wrote the book that we wrote. It's set in the 1950s and 60s because we thought it's no way two people won't meet each other, even though we have it. And so they corresponded through letters and phone calls. And that's why it's called At the End of the Line, because it's at the end of the telephone line. Two women that forged a friendship that had never met. In the end, they did meet. And the one was sick when they met. The younger one came to the hospital to see her friend. And I go, well, we can't have her die, because I don't want us to meet on one of us, or ready to die. So we made her live for a long time after that. So.
Well, thank you for making her live. Don't kill her off.
Don't kill her off.
Don't kill her off. Patricia was wondering if you can talk about working with an editor. Great question, Patricia. She'd like to know, do you ever disagree with feedback? Let's take it a step further. And what do you do if you do?
Yeah, so I always hate the feedback. I think like they don't know what I mean. They don't understand my writing. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So I always write smart Alec kind of things in the comments. I'm just real snarky and say all the mean things that I think about them. And then I change the things I want to change, and I redo the comments to say nice things like thank you or stet. You put STET in there to say just leave it or whatever. So I'm always nervous when I send it off. Like, did I change all the comments back? Because I think I say pretty mean things in those comments. Now, as far as Berkeley, they never say anything. They always ask me questions. Did you mean this like this, Abby? Do you want to keep this like this, Abby? But and so they're so nice, and sometimes I just change it because they're so nice. And I have a women's fiction coming out. It's called Where Wild Peaches Grow.
Ooh.
And I just got my cover for it. I love my cover. And they were saying all kinds of things, and I was just like, so I left one bad comment in that one. I hope nobody's watching from there.
Well, Abby, since you don't swear and you don't write scandalous sex scenes, now I need to know, what was the mean comment?
I'm not saying.
Was it something like, you are stupid and I disagree, you ignorant whelp? Like, what? You idiot, you should be extinct. What? I mean, how unkind could Abby Colette possibly be? You're like the nicest person I've ever met.
Thank you. So I don't actually tell people that they're stupid, but my kids said I start using big words when I get upset. And so I have this tone that I hear can even translate into my emails. So I try very hard not to get angry and things, because it's just not a good look, and it's, and so a lot of times people, they'll ask me, do you ever get angry? Do you ever get upset? Yeah, I used to get more upset than this, but it's just nothing to do. So I let things, I think it came with age. All the things that people do, I can't change that. They're going to do what they're going to do. And what I can do is not be around them and not discuss things with them. And so that's what I opt to do, because I could get angry and have a temper and just yell with the rest of them.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of time and a waste of energy.
I am wildly entertained by the thought that you write these mean comments and then later delete them, and then you're sweating wondering if you actually deleted that last mean comment too. Sounds good, Nancy from Go Take a Hike, Nancy.
I just wonder, did I do that?
Oh my God, I love it. Margaret is saying she's laughing out loud at competing with God. # marketing lesson learned.
Exactly.
I love that. She said, when you each make your first million, then it's time for the girls' trip with Catherine. Absolutely. And she's also saying she loves the title, how clever. It's so clever with the title at the end of the line. Because of course I was thinking train line, but then of course phone line. Brilliant.
Catherine thought of that. She thinks of all of them. So Catherine John, look up her books.
Catherine John.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because I think the other thing too is that we think of, when you're getting this editorial feedback, that maybe you just have to take it. So
you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to take it. And they tell you that. And it's that, I don't know how many people are out there traditionally published or looking to be traditionally published, but I don't know what it stands for. I make it all caps, I think, for the emphasis, but I've seen it in small letters. It's STET. And that's telling the editor, I don't want to change this.
Yes.
So you can do that. They give you that option.
Excellent. And it's Judy Ginsburg Sinsheimer who's saying she wants to be like Maisie. Absolutely. Exactly. The sassy 74-year-old Jewish lady leading the dance class. Judy, I think you already are like Maisie.
That's Molly, who I'm
Molly.
Maisie after. Maisie's young. She's in her 20s.
Okay. Molly is the one that you're after, Judy. Molly is the one that you're after. Margaret suggesting editor, love hurts, signed Lizzo. Absolutely. You could do that.
But editors are good people, and they're only out there to make your book better, and that makes you shine, because who knows who your editor is. They're not gonna get any recognition out of this. All these bestsellers, New York bestsellers, how many of them do you know who the editor was to those books? So they're doing this to help you. So I don't want to badmouth them. It's just that, you get old, you get stubborn. I don't know how younger writers handle this, but I'm like, I think I know everything. So, that's why I have a hard time. But I usually at the end feel better when I make the changes and I think, oh yeah, I should have done that. Why didn't I know to do that? So it's not a bad thing. And they're there to make your book and you better.
Oh, I love that. And I use Stet all the
Let
time
it
because I
spin.
grew up editing by hand as well.
Thank you,
Margaret's saying
Margaret. Yeah.
Margaret's saying that she just found this in Latin. Stet is a Latin word meaning let it stand. Absolutely. Um, another one that I really loved review of your series was Juliet Blackwell, the New York Times best-selling author of The Haunted Home Renovation. And she said Abby Colette's new series is a welcome addition. I'm going to just pop this up briefly because it's some of our names. Is a welcome addition to the cozy mystery scene in life at Crew's Creamery. Promises plenty of delectable adventures to come. So let's talk about that. How many more books do you think you'll do in the series? Are you going to go over to soul food now? Are you going to go to women's fiction? I mean, what's next, Abby Colette?
Yeah, that's not for me to decide. That's what I want. I am right now hoping to get book 4 and 5 in the Ice Cream Parlor Mystery Series, but that's not for me to say. I'm ready to write them if I can get a contract for them. And then there's the second book in the Books and Biscuits series is coming out October 4th, I believe. It's called Soul of the Killer. Soul of a Killer.
Soul of a Killer.
Soul of a Killer. Yeah, it comes out in October. And those are the only 2 books I know for sure in that series. So we'll see how that goes. As I said, my women's fiction comes out in August 30th. It's called Where Wild Peaches Grow. And I'm looking to do another women's fiction. I have the title and I'm working on a story, but we'll see how that goes before I give out any information on that.
Now, was that Catherine's title or is that your title, Where the Wild Peaches Grow?
Where Wild Peaches Grow. Was it my idea? Probably Catherine's. I don't remember, but it probably was Catherine's. I'll have to ask her about that. I like to have credit for at least a book. In the beginning, I thought of that one all on my own. So
I love it. And it's cool that you're trying out different genres, segueing, trying women's fiction, doing all different things. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I see we are out of time, but Abby Colette, thank you so much for coming on. And I want to remind everyone you can get this delightful series. So says the New York Times today. So grab your copy, y'all, from our favorite woman-owned bookstore, Murder by the Book. I'm popping it into the link right now. And let us know what you think. We'll be wondering what you think of the voice. If you do the audio, we'll be wondering what you think of the book. If you do the paper, however you choose to read is wonderful. And we look forward to hearing.
Yes, and follow me on my social media, Instagram, Abby Vandiver, Twitter. Pop by and say hi. I love talking to folks. My email is abbylvandiver@aol.com. Yeah, come and tell me what you think. Come and just say hi.
Yay! Oh, that's so generous of you to give out all these wonderful, to give out your email and all these wonderful links. So I'm gonna tell everyone, here is the link. I'm popping it into. Patricia is saying this was great. Thank you. It was such great fun. So I'm popping the link into the comment so everyone can follow Abby on Instagram. She's Abby Vandiver. And Abby, do you want to just say quickly why you have these many names? Are you a wanted woman? Are you on the lam? What's going on, Abby?
Yes. No. So Vandiver is actually my maiden name, and Abby, I haven't the faintest idea. My grandson says I got it from NCIS. I don't know where I got it. And then when I went to Berkeley, they told me I could write under Abby Vandiver, but I couldn't write anything else. I couldn't write any other books, and I still thought I was going to self-publish or something. So I said, well, if I come up with another name, and they said, yep, if you come up with another name, you can still write under Abby Vandiver. So Colette is actually my real middle name. So now you found out some of my real names throughout this half of 30 minutes or so. And so that's why I chose that one. My new book, Where Wild Peaches Grow, will come out under Cade Bentley. I probably should have had Abby Bentley, and the reason I did that, I have had people tell me, Abby, I'll read whatever you write. I just pick it up. I don't care. I just go out and buy it as soon as I see you have a new book. And this book is nothing like the cozies that I write. So I didn't want people picking up thinking, what the heck? What is Abby? What has she done? I'll never buy another one of her books. So that way, you'll stop. You'll know it's me, but you'll know. I hope people will see that it's me, and then you'll say, "Oh, but it's a different kind of book. It's not what she usually writes."
Okay. So I've put in the links to Abby's Instagram, Abby's Twitter, Abby's website, and where Wild Peaches Grow will come out under the name Cade Bentley. So I'm putting that in the link too. So for all of our women's fictions lovers, grab those peaches.
Yes.
Because they're going to be, if it's coming out from Abby, we know it's going to be juicy. Ooh, I'm on a roll, Abby. God. All right, everybody. I hope you have a sweet Valentine's Day. I'm wearing my heart shirt, my heart sweater.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
And of course, we're going to spend our Valentine's Day talking about murder, mayhem, and ice cream. So I will see y'all tonight at 7 and 8 p.m. with Jane Peck and Allison Bucola. And next Monday and every Monday for Mystery Monday, because Mondays can be murder. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.